Warning: the following context may include scary sequences of light horror and many thrills. Some gruesome descriptions involving children may be present in some chapters. Some material may be unsettling to certain audiences. But don't worry, everything will be okay. Probably. Chapter 25. Return to the Castle. Tori's Perspective. My soul slowly floats closer and closer to my body while Danny shakes me back to life. Looks like I'll be awake soon, I tell Sammy. Will I be able to see you when I'm back in this world? I'm not sure, Sammy says. I've never done this before, but I'll be following you guys. That's good enough for me. A tight tug in my chest pulls me to my body and I gasp awake. Oh my gosh, Danny cries, hugging me tightly. Don't ever climb things again. I hug him back, laughing a little bit, but hopefully nothing he notices. Thank you for bringing me back, I say with a smile. Sammy? I look around and Danny follows where I look. He must think I hit my head really hard or something. A light tap on my shoulder catches my attention, and I can see a see-through version of Sammy, smiling big. I'm free, she says excitingly. Well, free to follow you. Yay! I clap my hands together. I'm glad it worked. Who are you talking to? Danny asks, looking from side to side. Calm down, Danny. I found her, I say, laying a hand on his knee. You found who? The lost soul. Her name is Sammy. Turns out that the ghosts that haunted you guys were just pranking you. A silly grin forms on my face, but I try to hide it. He stares blankly at me. I'm sure out of all the things here that could be nice, ghosts weren't his first guess. I explain to him all that happened and how Sammy will be following us, but only I can see her. I reassure him that I feel as fine as I can. I ask Sammy if Danny and I could sleep in the barn for the night before we head back out in the morning, and she says that should work. Turns out ghosts don't sleep, so she keeps the other ghosts from pranking us again. When the sun rises, we eat a few bites of the trail mix that TD made for us, pack what little we have, and head out. I would ask Sammy for shortcuts to the castle, but given that she was trapped at the old barn, she doesn't have any more clue than Danny and I do. Get ready, girls, we've got quite the way to go, Danny tells us. I sigh because can't anything be near each other in this maze? Hey, Sammy, I ask. Yeah? Do you get tired from traveling long distances, or not, because you just float? Sammy floats a little ahead of us. Danny looks at me looking in front of him, then looks there too. It might take a little bit for me to get used to this, he says, shaking his head with a little laugh. Sammy laughs at him, making silly faces we both know he can't see. Floating slowly doesn't take much effort at all, she explains. But if I zoom fast or fly really high, that can be a little more exhausting. She demonstrates by zooming around us. Even Danny feels the wind. But since I've been cooped up in that barn for so long, I'm not sure how I'll do with long distance. That makes sense, I say. Danny looks at me, then over to where he thinks Sammy is, but she's moved now. What makes sense? What was the answer? He asks me. Guess I'm the interpreter now. Fast and high makes her tired, that's all she knows, I answer, and he nods gently, checking the map again. After a lot of walking and a lot of sweat building up in my shoes, we can finally see the castle in the distance. The odd thing is, neither Danny nor I actually went in except for me when Connor and I saved Dixie, but it was dark and only for a brief minute. Neither of us know what to expect. That place looks actually haunted, Sammy says, floating slowly behind me, looking at the castle over my shoulder. There was a terrifying vampire beast who lived there, I tell her. Danny looks at me, making an "I already knew that" face, then realizes I was talking to Sammy. He doesn't live there anymore? Sammy asks nervously. And I'm not sure why she'd be nervous. As harsh as it is, she's already dead. Not a ton to lose. No, I reply. Connor, our friend, killed him. Wow, Sammy says in awe. That's so brave. I laugh. It's odd knowing more about this place than someone who has always been here. The three of us stand at the front door, hesitant to knock. The castle is more pretty and cool looking in the sunlight, still creepy though. Danny gives the door 2 hard knocks, hoping no vampires burst through and devour us. A shuffle of footsteps come closer to the door until a brittly voice says, "Who's there?" Um, Danny decides what to answer. "Danny and Tori, we have a few questions." The door opens and a short woman, a little bit older, opens the door. "What do you children want? I'm awfully busy." "Yes, of course. We didn't mean to intrude," Danny says, looking at me to see if I know her, but I shake my head. "Okay, I'll be honest with you," he says, "'cause at this point, so long as she can't turn into a beast, we could easily push her over and barge in. We are looking for a purple dress, and we're told it was in this castle." Her eyes widen, looking at me up and down. "It was you, wasn't it?" she says, stepping closer to me. "You were with that boy who killed the master." Based on her reaction, I don't know what to say. Is she happy he died? Sad? I don't know her relation to him. I say slowly, getting ready to run if needed. She walks over and throws her arms around me. "Thank you," she says in relief. "Thank you for ending that foul creature. I was cursed to serve him. I had to do as he told me. It was so wrong. All those people." Her head drops and tears begin to pour down her cheeks. "I'm so sorry. Are you free now?" I ask her, laying my hand on her shoulder. A sorrowful smile shows through her tears, and she gives one affirming nod. "All thanks to you and your friend." "I'm so sorry for what you went through. But I'm glad you're free now," Danny says. "Could we have the dress? We're trying to escape our curse." She waves her hand for us to follow, and we enter the castle. The dress is stored in a special closet in the biggest bedroom, one where no one was allowed to sleep, not even the master. Danny tries stuffing it in the backpack, but there's too much fabric. "You could just wear it," Sammy tells me. I don't really want to wear a dress, but it might be our only option. I suppose I'd be matching Dixie and Martha, too. Gosh, I hope they're okay. "Here, let me try it on," I say, reaching out my hand. Danny hesitates, looking at me with concern. "Oh, come on, we don't have time to waste," I say sharply, but then remember I need to keep my temper under control. His eyes lift in response to my attitude. "You okay?" he asks, obviously gesturing to the broomstick, making me angry. "Sorry, yeah, I'm just impatient." He's been able to keep his over-the-top peace crap to a low, so I suppose I should keep my sass in check too. The dress fits rather long, but the ribbon in the back is able to tighten around my waist. I take a deep breath, but then feel really restrained, tight, and held back. "I'm not sure I can move in this," I tell them. I take a few steps and realize it's not long enough for me to trip on it. So what's the problem? Then it hits me. This must be the feeling that comes with the dress. "What do you mean?" Danny asks me, confused because I appear to be moving just fine. "Never mind," I say. "It's fine." I take a deep breath and accept the feeling. The combination of anger from the broomstick and feeling restrained, as if someone is holding me back, tightening the dress more and more, isn't very fun. At least I have Sammy. I'm pretty sure that feeling is friendly, so at least there is one positive thing for me. We thank Bethia and depart for the apple orchard. The walk is only an hour in between, definitely the shortest trail so far. Danny smiles as the cool breeze brushes against our skin. As much as my annoyance is tugging at me, I am happy that he finally gets a sense of peace. Connor's perspective. Doing my best not to cause any loud noises, I run out of this town as fast as I can. It's odd. The last time I was here, there were so many more zombies, but now the town feels dead, and not in an ironic way. I'm not complaining, though. Without warning, the wind picks up and debris rolls across the pavement. Doors slam and old wind chimes sway and ding together. Well, if they are still here, they are about to come out from wherever they're hiding. Far-off growls and moans begin to cry, and that's my cue to leave. A huge herd of twitching bodies runs out from houses, backyards, and stores. I pick up the pace while still hoping they don't see me. Although they aren't as fast as me when I'm sprinting, they pop out of nowhere and catch you off guard. Plus, it's hard to keep up a sprint. Attempting to run behind a car, a couple of them notice me and begin charging. I hold tightly to the backpack, making sure it won't fall off, and I bolt. I know where the cutoff zone is, so I aim for that direction. The group of zombies grow bigger as more notice the herds run by. I glance over my shoulder and shudder at the enormous stampede of brain-hungry monsters. Last time there were only 20 or so. There must be 100 now. My chest aches from all this running, but the cutoff point is close. Just a little bit more, I tell myself. You can do this. My breathing becomes heavier and my head starts to pound. A sigh of relief leaves my lungs as I know I've crossed the boundaries. My run turns into a slow jog until finally I'm about to stop. I take many deep breaths, trying to make up for all that I lost when I was running for my life. I really hate this place. I watch the swarm of zombies run closer to the cutoff zone. There's something wrong, though. They don't seem to be slowing down. In fact, they've crossed the line. My feet move faster than I knew possible because now I don't know where the limits are. Do they have limits? I can feel the panic set in as I pick a random trail and go with it. Chapter 26. Willow. Martha's Perspective. Tune in tomorrow.